Okay, let's start with the second experiment, SOP2. We'll read out the information and we will continue. This is a very simple experiment. Hardly it will take 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the time and your speed. So, in the experiment, it is mentioned as create a web page using HTML and the CSS and display the layout which is given below. So, we have to use the CSS. From this statement, we cannot make out whether it is internal, external, or inline CSS. So let's just read out. The top section will display the heading tourist places in header. So this table has a one heading. Size is not mentioned, so it's your choice H1, H2, H3. This is also a header, so we have to use the TH. TH stands for the table header. Okay, so we have to use the heading tag also H1, H2, or H3, anything, and that is written between the TH. That I will show you how it can be done. The second section on the left has a list of the cities. The right section displays the tourist places. Now we can see here there is one ordered list and one unordered list. So it's very simple, practical. Use inline style sheet in top section to display the background color and for the tourist places. So this text is need to be displayed using the style. The color has to be displayed using the inline CSS. Not only that, a color behind this text, which is the background color, the sky blue color, is displayed using the inline CSS only. So for this entire part, we have to use inline CSS. Now use uh, internal style sheet for left and the right section with the background color and the font style. So here is one row and here is another row. This is the same row actually, not two different rows. Two columns are there. They're sharing the same row, but the color is applied differently. So check how we can perform it. So what I will do, let's create one folder. We'll call it as a practical number 2. I will open the folder. I will use annotate tool so I can highlight my cursor. Let's create one text document. Then open this file and you can start the standard tag, the basic tag which are used in HTML. Save this file. You can call it as a sop2.html. Here you can write the tag HTML, then closing of the HTML tag, then opening of the head, closing of head tag. Again, after between the head tag, you can write the title tag, closing of the title tag, so right, closing of the title, and here there is a body tag, opening and the closing of the body tag. So between the body tag, now we have to create the table. So generally we write the opening of the table. By default, border is a 0. So write border equal to 1. If you do not write this one, you will get the wrong output. It won't be visible properly. The lines won't be visible. Write the closing of the table. Let's create the two rows first. Now we have to use the tr tag and the closing of the tr tag. So this will create the first row, and the second tr will create the second tr. Make sure that when you are checking this program, there are two different colors are applied. So what you can do is you can use the concept called as ID. So that can be applied for these two a column actually. So we can see here there are two different columns here. So I can write here initially as a TD and opening and closing of the TD. Then there is one more TD I will write and closing of the TD. Reason is that if you notice, check here. I will write initially here as a 1. This is just for understanding purpose, so you will not make a mistake. I will just copy this part and put it here between the tr tag. So 1 is written there, and if you notice the output, this file you can delete it from the background. I will keep this page open. So the table will be created. Let's increase the size of the table. So the first two columns are merged. Now to merge the column, we have to use tag, or we have to use attribute called as call span equal to 2. So here I will write call span equal to 2. Since we are merging the two column, we will write it 2. So Since after merging, there will be only one. There will be only one cell. So that's why there will be one time opening and closing of the TD. So you can check the column will merge here. So one will be visible. And in that one, we can now write here as a tourist cities. Now these tourist cities are nothing but the heading. So I will simply write here tourist cities. This one is written inside the heading tag. So I can write here as H1, H2. You can change it if you want to write something else. H6 you can write here. Because they are not mentioned size of the text. It should be the highest possible or the lowest possible. Opening and closing of the heading is written. Every time you make the changes, save the pages and check it. So tourist cities is written here. I increase initially the size of the browser. That's why it sounds like there is a very much size, bigger font for the tourist cities. Now TR you can check in this TR in one TD. Okay, here we can use the ordered list and here we can use the unordered list. So here I will do one thing. Inside this one, I will create the ordered list. But when you're writing it, you might find it very difficult to write. So you can simply divide it like this way. So you can just remove this one and make it in a different line. And here you can write ordered list and closing of the ordered list. Between the ordered list, you can write the list tag and the closing of the list. Since there are 4 names, you can simply copy it and you can paste it 4 times. This is the first ordered list. And you can check at the right side, city is written here. So I will write the city here. And it sounds like city has a particular font. So you can write here as a bold if you want, you can write. At the closing of the bold also you can write. They are not mentioned whether to use a heading or bold. So we have the full privileges to write anything. The ordered list is given. So between list, I can write here as a Pune. Then here I will write the Bangalore. Then I will write here as Hyderabad. They have written here. Then here I will write Delhi. So this one is done. By default, it's a numerical value only. So even if you do not write any type, it will still print uh, numerical values only. You can check the order of the ordered list will be always 1, 2, 3, 4. The right side part we have not written, so the size is very small. So what I will do, I will just copy this entire thing, whichever we have written inside this TD. Now make sure that the first part which we have written, the tourist city, that has to be a header. So I will replace this TD with the TH and the closing of the TH. The only difference is that it acts as a header. It might have the some bigger font. You can check when I save this file and when you refresh, by default it's already increased. That's why it sounds like a bigger one. So TH you can replace. So you can inside the TD, inside the TR, you can write the TD also or TH also. TD if you're writing, so it will be generally considered as a cell. And when you're writing TH, that will be the header. That means name of the column. That is always indicated in the bigger font. So here again, you can save this file and you can refresh here. And here now you can continue with the rest of the part. So I will copy this entire thing which is written between the TD and here I will, you can check the whole thing. I will go to the another TD. Now here I have to put it. So I will replace the one with the entire thing. So here I will write same thing. Now I have to make the changes here because in a output they have written something different. So city is replaced with the different places in Pune. I will write here as a tourist places in Pune. And this will be now unordered list. This will be the closing of the unordered list. This will not change. This is still a list. So here I will write the name Shaniwar Wada. So okay, so I will write Shaniwar Wada. Okay, then I will write here as Kelkar Museum. So Kelkar Museum. Yeah, so Kelkar Museum is written. And here I will write Sinhagad Fort. I will write here as Fort. Okay. Now the fourth option is not given, so I will just remove it from here. So the whole thing is written there between the TD. So if you refresh our output, you will notice that we have almost got the output that we are looking for. But this table is not at the center, and they have mentioned that use inline CSS and all those things. So this part is an inline CSS. So here we have already written the TH. So what we can do is here we can apply some background color. So here is the TH, which is already mentioned. Now we want to apply the color for this entire thing. So this entire cell is created because using the TH only. So where is the TH tag? So TH tag is here. Now when you want to use inline CSS, we know that inside the TR also you can use inline CSS, or here also. So let's see if you use inside the TR, because they're considered the entire row. I will write the style equal to, I will write, because in inline CSS, the tag attribute and the value pair is written within the tag itself. Since this TR represents the entire cell, I will write here only style equal to background dash color. That's it. The job is done. If you want to apply the font family, you can write the font family equal to Georgia, or you can keep it as the same. Let's check inline CSS part is done. I will refresh the page, and now when you are writing inside the TR, we have written style equal to background color. No, we have not written the name of the color. So here we can check it's a sky blue actually. So I will write here as a sky blue. So here I will write sky blue, and there is no double quotation here because this entire thing is written inside the double quotation. Why? Because this is a entire thing is a value. Style is a attribute. So there is no need, just like in HTML, we write attribute equal to value, and value is enclosed in a double quotation. That thing we don't need to write here. So this thing is working. Now for city and the tourist places in Pune, we have to use something else. Let us see. This whole thing is written. They both have the, can you notice here, there are different color. Now both are referred as a TD. So the problem is that if I'm using here attribute as a TD, what will happen? You can check. This one is written in one TD and this is written in second TD. So if I use the internal CSS written in the same page within the or between the header tag. So you can write either here or either you can write it here. I will cancel this title. It is not compulsory to cancel it, but to make it easy, I will just cancel it. Head tag, I will keep it there as it is. So head is missing. Control C, Control S. So here I will write style, then type equal to text, then CSS, and here I will write the opening and closing of the style. So here I will save this page, and here if I use the TD as a selector, then there could be the problem because both have a different color, right? I will write here as a background dash color. Suppose if I write here as a background dash color equal to as a, I will write here as a pink, and let's see what will happen. So since there are, this one is also TD and the second is also TD, so the both thing will be displayed in the same color. So that's the problem. So if you want to apply the different color, but the tag name is the same, so we know that there is concept called as a class and ID that can differentiate. So the first TD cover the name of the city. That TD, or say as this entire row, I will use here as ID equal to, I will call it as A. And another, no, we cannot write inside TR because they both are sharing the same row. So can we write it inside the TD? Because TD is also there. If you use the TR, then again it will be same. There is only one TR. So TDs are different. So TD I will write here as ID equal to A, and this another TD, I can refer as ID equal to 2. Not number, never use the number as an ID. It may not work in some browser. I will use here as a B. So we know that if we use the ID in the CSS program, you have to write TD is a name of, here we had written correctly. We had not written here as a TR initially. So we are on the same track. So TD we can write here as a hash and A. That means this cell name is A. So for that only this color will be applied. I can copy this thing and paste it for one more time, and I will write here as a TD, and wherever the B is written, apply some another color and make it here as this entire thing as a green and this part as a pink. So let us see. I will save this page and let's refresh. So it's working, but in the input they are given something called as which color it is actually. So light yellow. Can I write here as a light yellow this part? Okay, say as light yellow. There will be hardly difference. You can keep it as a white only, or you can write some another color also. It won't be a wrong. So it sounds like, yeah, the color is visible there. So this is the output we have to make now. H equal to C GERD we have written. So there is some mistake here in the spelling. Where is, yeah. So here we have to write C GERD. Now again, if you want to put the entire thing at the center, obviously the whole thing which we have written between the inside the body tag, we can write here as center. This one also can be done using the CSS, but to avoid the confusion, let's make it as a center. So the whole table will be visible at the center, right? Opening and closing of the center. Anything that you write between the center tag will bring the content at the center of the table. So rather than writing here, okay, you can check here. One center is in the beginning of the table and the another table is at the another side. So here we can save the page, refresh it. The table is visible at the center. Now, one more thing you can do is you can also apply the color to the text. So you can check this color has another color here. So let's write another color for this inline CSS. So inline CSS we have written somewhere here. So for this TR. So can I write here for this H2? You can write here. Can I write here also? We'll check. We can write inside this same TR also. So anything that we write inside this one will have a same color. So I will write here. Background color is a sky blue. And if I write the just a color, so that will be the color of the text. Color will be a maroon, and don't forget to write the semicolon. Let me check. If it doesn't change, then we have to, yeah, the color is applied there, which is close to the color which is given in the input. You can also change it. You can make it as a pink or red. I think that the color is a pink. Let's not waste too much time in the coloring. So you can write a color of your own choice. Let me check. It could be the red also, or it could be the pink also. So save this file, and the job is done. This is how you have to perform the practical. Now color is not changing. What is the problem? Yeah, so pink we have written at wrong place. So it should be the color, which is color of the text, and here we have to write the pink. Font family we already written. Here also we can apply the font family. Those who want to write, they can write here as a font family. Write your font family, and same thing you can write Georgia or Comic Sans MS. You can write. They are not mentioned in the experiment which one we have to do. So you write here as a same by default. It's the Times New Roman. So you can write Georgia. Same thing I can copy and I can paste it here. Remember, whenever you use the ID, we always use a different name and tag name, and this ID is separated by hash. If we use a class, then we have to use tag name dot name of the class. Class name we use only when we want to apply the common properties. Like for tag will have the same name A, B, 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 and accordingly, if group wise, if you want to apply the property, we use the class name. So the program is done. I will share this program, video of this program Now this is too much tourist cities. Okay, you can apply some color whichever you want, maybe the color maroon or the red or some another color you can apply. If your operating system is 32-bit or 64-bit or something like that, there will be always different brightness and the contrast in the because of the display system. I will simply make it as a red or something, will be easier. The color is not important, the output is more important. We cannot remember the name of the all color until unless you use something like hash values of the color coding. So I will upload this video on in a Google Classroom, and you have to prepare the file accordingly. Some extra instruction I will add there how you can perform it. So that's it. I will stop sharing and I will close the recording of this file.